Nowadays, we are so obsessed with materialistic items. We are always wanting something, wanting a high quality life, wanting the most advanced technologies, wanted the best appearance, wanting this, wanting that. The question is, what are we sacrificing for all of our selfish demands? Or, in other words, what have we exchanged for our comfort? From my point of view, I think that we are treating our forest like a money tree and we are attacking it to get more luxuries. We destroy the biodiversity and ecosystem of the forest for agricultural activities, unlawful and unsustainable logging, human infrastructures, etc., mainly for economic benefits. We can indeed earn a fortune just by trading forest resources, but in reality, there is never an existence of a money tree. Depressingly, the forest statistics from the official website of the Forestry Department of Peninsular Malaysia shows that in year 2011 and 2018, our forested land is decreasing while the non-forested area is increasing annually. As more products are harvested from the forest, the natural resources become scarce. This is known as deforestation because forest zones are exploited and humans open land by chopping down trees for timber, agricultural purposes, and other human activities. Subsequently, major global problems such as global warming and climate change starts to rise. An interesting fact here is that global warming and climate change are from different categories. So what are the differences? According to USGS, Science for a Changing World, global warming refers to the rise in global temperatures, mainly due to the increasing concentrations of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, whereas climate change refers to the increasing changes in the measures of climate over a long period, which includes the evaluation of precipitation rate, temperature, and wind patterns. The trees filter carbon dioxide gases in the atmosphere that were released by living creatures through respiration and human activities. Without forests, the high concentration of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere causes the greenhouse gas effect that later leads to global warming. The heat melts the glaciers and sea ice, shifting precipitation patterns and setting animals on the move, specifically in areas from the North Pole to the South Pole. Moreover, more drastic consequences like climate change that affects the ecosystem are accompanied by the rising temperature. The population of wildlife is declining and even going extinct as a result of climate change. For instance, the vanishing ice has challenged species such as the Adelie penguin in Antarctica, where some populations on the Western Peninsula have collapsed by 90% or more. However, in the context of plants, it's a different story. As stated in the National Geographic website, a climate geographer, Justin Mankin of Dartmouth College, proposed that primary regulators of the water cycle, plants, dominates how the water flows from the land to the atmosphere. He mentioned that in an arid and high concentrated carbon dioxide condition, plants tend to grow bigger with more leaves as photosynthesis is optimized. Plants are inclined to take up more dosage of water in the soil, which then decrease the water availability that promotes global water issues. That sounds scary, right? But the nightmare hasn't ended here. Some species, inclusively the mosquitoes, ticks, jellyfishes, and crop pets are thriving. Booming of a population is not something that we should be proud of, particularly when it comes to problematic pest species, which is a threat to beneficial species. It is a starting point of an imbalanced ecosystem which further encourages the superiority of one species to another, and it may even entirely wipe out the other species. Hence, more complications like food security and so on will start to threaten the lives of many. Let us initiate simple steps to prevent the intensifying of the dreadful upshot of deforestation, global warming, and climate change. First and foremost, we should change the way we consume energy. Melissa Denchak of NRDC suggested that we disseminate the idea of green technology to our community. We can power up our home with renewable energy, namely from wind or solar energy, and invest in energy-efficient appliances to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from fossil fuels. Secondly, for long-term extents, we should protect our forests at all costs. The forest is not just a money tree to the economy, otherwise it plays a more vital role in reducing the concentration of carbon dioxide and other gases that trap heat on the planet. We should bring up the 3 Rs, which are reduce, reuse, and recycle when it comes to properly managing our waste. We must try to reduce the chances of promoting timber-based or wood products. If not, try to reuse or recycle the available resources and goods, giving them a second chance before ending up in the waste landfill. Furthermore, we must practice mitigation, which involves reducing the flow of heat-trapping greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, and adaptation, which involves adjusting our lives to the changing climate. To mitigate, we must avoid significant human interference with the climate system and implement eco-friendly human development for a sustainable ecosystem. To adapt, we must bear the wrath of Mother Nature because of our irresponsible actions, and we have to maximize our efforts in slowing down climate change. Try to think out of the box and weigh carefully on which we should prioritize: our health and overall welfare, or just wealth and fortune. To summarize, deforestation is a serious issue that causes the imbalance of forest ecosystems and biodiversity on a global scale. We, as the overseer of the planet, should conserve our forests, which is the root and circle of life, and perceive getting blinded by the fairy tale of the money tree.